liberty, contrasting beautiful Namibia, Namibia, our country, beloved land of savannas, oh, by the banner of liberty, Namibia, our country, Namibia, motherland, we love thee. Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life.
Thank you. We may be seated. At this juncture, before we commence with the program, we would like to request Mr. Deon Baisako to open the gathering with a prayer. Mr. Baisako.
Director of Ceremonies, good morning. Let us invite the heavenly protocol among our midst in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. My name is now officially Elder Cornelius Christian Baisako, but you can still call me Dion, because I was finally inducted yesterday into that portfolio of being an elder. And that is the potential that you saw in me many years back, so that I can unleash it to the fullest. Thank you, Disability community of fraternity, for molding me into this noble responsibility. The protocol will still be established, but I would love to say that it will not sit well with me not to acknowledge the presence of our Vice President among our midst. I think now we are getting more closer and closer. It might be the third encounter. I'm also happy to acknowledge the presence of our Prime Minister, Lea Gurare. I'm happy to see you. Allow me to read the scripture and pray so that I cannot waste time. And it is written in the letter by Apostle Paul to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 10. And it reads as follows. If Christ is within us, then our bodies are dead for sin, but our souls are alive for righteousness. Meaning that Christ is not among us, the Holy Spirit is. Christ is within us. so that we will never sin, break the 10 Commandments, as we will be able to fear God and love God and our neighbors as we love ourselves. It means our bodies are dead in Christ so that we cannot sin. I admire us, the persons of disabilities. Not all of us now. There might be some who will not do what I'm talking now. For instance, the deaf hardly hear the mocking and the gossip. Otherwise, they could have retaliated. The blind hardly see the explicit content that we are exposed to on social media, print media. They could have engaged in multiple sexual activities and sin. The mentally disabled hardly communicate and air their grievances, so they could have been behind bars or drive cars and cause accidents. The wheelchair users also hardly go to nightclubs, otherwise they could have been kidnapped. Children of cerebral palsy or autism hardly leave homes. Example for dating married people, which is an indication that they don't sin. We don't need to prove that in churches, as our souls are alive to feed our minds with righteousness that enables us to distinguish between right and wrong. Let us pray. Dear Lord, sin was crushed on the Calvary. We are no longer stoned to death, but our desires to get rich, healthy, and educated are killing us from within as we envy those that are successful. Our bad manners and being judgmental keeps Christ outside our bodies, and in the process, our souls dies too, because we are no more able to do what is right. Lust leads us to greed and corruption. Our bad manners leads us to anger, arguments and fights, and being judgmental turns us into mockers and gossipers. Help us to do away from self-justification and listen to critics and advice alike. Help us to understand that the government is the authority placed by you for us to obey and cooperate with and to meet halfway in opportunities such as this and many others. Help us to understand that our caregivers and service providers are human beings too, that needs our support as persons of disabilities. Help us to turn back to you so that Christ can come into our bodies by partaking in the Holy Communion, that our bodies can die for sin and pave way to a living soul that will feed our minds with positive thinking, which will manifest our good deeds forever and ever. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dion Baisako, for the inspiring prayer. With that, we feel now empowered, and I'm also empowered as a Director of Ceremonies to now lead this program. Your Excellency, Madame Lucy Avetboy, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, Right Honorable Dr. Elia Ngurare, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Sam Safishuna Nuyoma, Governor of the Commerce Region, Honorable Nono Kachingisua, Member of Parliament and Chairperson of the Standing Committee on Gender Equality, Health and Social Welfare, Honorable Alexia Manombe Tube, Member of Parliament and former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs, Mr. Basilio Jakunha, the Ombudsman, representatives from the organizations representing the people with disabilities, representatives from our institutions of higher learning, if they are around, senior officials from the government and National Disability Council of Namibia, distinguished invited guests, distinguished sponsors, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Yes, my name is, thank you very much. My name is Mateus Kaholongo. I'm the Executive Director in the Presidency, and I will be leading this program today, where we are launching the revised National Policy on Disability 2025 and the Co-State Implementation Action Plan, which is with a theme, building an inclusive Namibia from policy to action. Articles 10 and 95 of the Namibian Constitution provide fundamental human rights to all the people of Namibia. Against this background, no Namibian citizen shall be discriminated against due to disability. In addition, Namibia has ratified the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in 2007 and the Protocol to the African Charter on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Therefore, this international instrument and the Namibian Constitution place a duty on the Namibian state to protect and promote the rights of all and improve the lives of the people living with disabilities. Despite this policy and legal frameworks, people living with disabilities still face challenges, and the data from the recent national census indicate that more than 5% of the Namibian population are challenged by some form of functional disabilities. From the realities of life, no human being is spared from disabilities. It is therefore important that when we face the fate of disabilities, assistance is rendered equally and with utmost diligence, effectiveness, and efficiently to enable those with disabilities to participate fully in the society on an equal basis. It is therefore on that basis that the government felt it necessary that the policy need to be revised and a co-state implementation plan done so that we carry out those fundamental functions, human rights of the people of Namibia, particularly those living with disabilities. So on this basis, I think with these few words, we will now dwell on the program. I think it was very, very much necessary to make these remarks, since the function of the disability affairs and disability matters fall under my mandate as an executive director in the presidency, where this division falls. Therefore, without much ado, the program has been distributed. It's in front of us, but due to exigency of time and that the Vice President and the Right Honorable Prime Minister have other duties, national duties to do, particularly around 10, from 10 there. So we have to marathon these programs to make sure that we cover much of the time before they leave. So without wasting time, it's now my distinct honor to invite Honorable Sam Safishuna Nuyoma, Governor of Commerce Region, to come and deliver his welcoming remarks. Honorable Governor.
Director of Ceremonies, Mr. Mateus Kaorongo, ED, the Presidency. Your Excellency, Madam Lucia Vetboy, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia. Right Honorable Dr. Elianguraire, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia. Honorable Nono Kashingisao, Member of Parliament and Chairperson of the Standing Committee on Gender Equality, Health and Social Welfare. Honorable Alexia Manube Kube, Member of Parliament and former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs. The Air Marshal Martin Phineas, Chief of the Namibian Defence Force, Mr. Junius Etuna Kanjeke, the Auditor General, Mr. Solomon Jacobs, Chairperson of the Public Service Commission in absentia, and his representative. Advocate Basilius Diakuga, the Ombudsman, leaders and representatives from the organizations representing the people with disabilities, Professor Andrew Nikondo, Acting Vice Chancellor of the Namibia University of Science and Technology, Advocate Otniel Padovilts, Commissioner of the Employment Equity Commission, representatives from the University of Namibia, representatives from International University of Management, senior officials from the government and National Disabilities Council of Namibia, management and staff of the Office of the Vice President, Office of the Prime Minister, Division of Disability Affairs, management and staff of the NDCN, staff of OMAS, Mr. Mateus Hashongo, Chairperson of the National Federation of People with Disabilities in Namibia, Chairpersons of organizations of persons with disabilities, members of the Diplomatic Corps, development partners, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you here today at the launch of the revised National Policy on Disability and Costed Implementation Action Plan. This moment marks not only a policy milestone, but the renewed national commitment to the dignity, rights, and inclusion of persons with disabilities in all spheres of life. The theme guiding us today, building an inclusive Namibia from policy to action, challenges us to move beyond words and good intentions towards practical, measurable actions that make a real difference in people's lives. It reminds us that inclusion is not a favor, it is a fundamental right and a cornerstone of our national development agenda. As a commerce region, we are proud to host this important event. Our region reflects Namibia's diversity and vitality, and within that diversity, we must make sure that no one is left behind. The launch of this revised policy provides us with a clear roadmap to strengthen coordination, accountability, and service delivery for persons with disabilities, ensuring that policies translate into tangible outcomes in communities, workplaces, and schools. Let me take this opportunity to commend the Office of the Vice President, the National Disability Council of Namibia, and all stakeholders, including organizations of persons with disabilities, for their collective efforts in shaping a policy framework that reflects the voices and aspirations of persons with disabilities across the country. This inclusive process demonstrates the spirit of partnership and shared responsibility that will be essential for successful implementation. As regional leaders, we must now ensure that the principles of this policy are realized at the grassroots level through inclusive governance, accessible infrastructure, equitable education, and economic empowerment. The true measure of this policy will be seen not on its pages, but in the lives that it transforms. In closing, let us reaffirm our shared commitment, government, private sector, and civil society alike, to turn this vision into a concrete action. Together, we can build an inclusive Namibia where every person, regardless of ability, participates fully and contributes meaningfully to our national development. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Governor. The Governor has spoken on behalf of all the 14 governors of Namibia. So thank you very much, and we are going forward with the program. I will now give chance to Ms. Angelique Philander to make remarks, because I'm looking at the time, sorry. I think we are still okay. I'm now giving a chance to Ms. Angelique Philander, Chief Executive Officer of the NDCN, to deliver her remarks. Thank you. Ms. Philander.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Director of Ceremonies, Mr. Matthews Kaulongo, Your Excellency, Madame Lucia Witbooi, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, Right Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Elijah Ngurare, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Sam Shafashuna Nyoma, Governor of the Commerce Region, Honorable Nunu Kadungizwe, Member of Parliament and Chairperson of the Standing Committee on Gender Equality, Health and Social Welfare, Honorable Alexia Manube, Minister, Member of Parliament and former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs, Advocate Basilius Diakua, the Ombudsman, Mr. Matthews Haushongo, Chairperson of the National Federation of Persons with Disabilities and Chairpersons of the different organizations of persons with disabilities, representatives of higher learning institutions, senior officials of government and the National Disability Council of Namibia, management and staff of the National Disability Council of Namibia, board directors of the National Disability Council, Mr. Charlie Matengo, Chairperson of the National Disability Council, staff of the Office of the Vice President, Office of the Prime Minister and Disability, Division of Disability Affairs, staff of OMASIS, members of the Diplomatic Corps, development partners, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good morning. It gives me great pride and deep gratitude to stand before you today to mark a significant milestone in our nation's journey towards inclusion, equality, and social justice, with the launch of this revised national policy on disability and its accosted implementation plan. With the adoption of this revised national policy on disability, the government reaffirms its commitment to ensure that disability inclusion is a core part of its national development. It's not just an afterthought. We recognize that persons with disabilities face multiple and intersectional barriers: physical, attitudinal, communication, institutional, and it hinders their full participation in society. The achievement did not come by chance. It is a product of months of rigorous research, national consultation, and collaborative dialogue, a process that brought together voices from across government, civil society, academia, and most importantly, persons with disabilities themselves. As the Chief Executive Officer of the National Disability Council, I had the honor of spearheading this process, ensuring that the policy not just reflects actions, but also the aspirations of the disability community, but also practical steps that needs to be inclusive and ensure that we include the living realities of this sector of our society. I wish to take a moment to, on behalf of the NDCN, acknowledge the invaluable contribution of Honorable Dorian Sioka, the former Minister of the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare, whose steadfast leadership and advocacy has greatly advanced disability inclusion, the disability inclusion agenda. She ensured to promote equality and empowerment for persons with disabilities, and we are continuously inspired by her vision. I also extend a heartfelt appreciation to Honorable Annexia Manube, whose years of service and unwavering commitment as the former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs laid a strong foundation for the progress we celebrate today. Their visionary leadership, guidance, and passion for inclusive development remained a guiding light for collecting efforts. Therefore, allow me to acknowledge the tireless efforts of the staff of the National Disability Council, the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, the Division of Disability Affairs, the Office of the Prime Minister, the Office of the Vice President, and special technical working groups, organizations of persons with disabilities, key stakeholders in government and development partners. Your dedication, time, expertise, and lived experiences have been essential. I also pay tribute to the many persons with disabilities in our country and their families, whose voices, needs, and aspirations has guided this process. Therefore, from the onset, our vision was clear: to ensure that the voices of persons with disabilities will not just be heard, but embedded at the very heart of this policy. Across all 14 regions, we have engaged communities, government, ministries, regional and local authorities, stakeholders from different organizations of persons with disabilities, and their families to ensure that the revised policy reflects lived realities and practical pathways to implementation. The revised national policy stands as a living testament to Namibia's unwavering commitment to inclusion, anchored in our national development agenda. It directly supports the aspirations of the SWAPO Party manifesto, which pledged to deepen social justice and equality for Namibians. It aligns with the objectives of the National Development Plan 6, which places human capital development and social transformation at the center of our progress. And it advances the vision articulated in Vision 2030, which envisions a caring and inclusive nation where no one is left behind. This policy, together with its accosted implementation plan, gives practical expression to these commitments. It defines clear roles, measurable targets, and actionable strategies to ensure that persons with disabilities can participate fully and meaningfully in the social, economic, and political life of our country. This policy, therefore, reflects emerging realities, the importance of universal design in our built environment, accessible transport, inclusive education, employment opportunities, accessible health services, social protection, assistive technologies, and meaningful participation in decision-making. This ensures that disability inclusion is mainstreamed across all sectors of society. Ladies and gentlemen, disability inclusion is not a peripheral issue. It is not a favor or an act of charity. It is a human right, a cornerstone of our development vision and our democracy. It challenges us to ensure that the policies deliver real changes in homes, schools, workplaces, and communities. Investing in human capital potential, in productivity, and in the dignity of every Namibian. Therefore, the NDCN stands ready to continue leading and coordinating the implementation efforts, monitor the progress, and ensure accountability. But to fully perform this mandate, the NDCN must be equipped with the means and institutional capacity necessary to operationalize this implementation plan. We therefore look forward with optimism and humility to continue partnerships and support with government and our developing partners, strengthening the NDCN's operational and financial Capacity will help us translate this policy from paper to practice, from intention to impact. As we look ahead, let us remember that policies alone do not create change. People do. Each of us, whether government, civil society, private sector, or within our communities, we each have a role to play in shaping Namibia that recognizes ability before disability and potential before limitation. Let us make this policy not just a government commitment, but a national movement, one that transforms attitudes, opens doors, and restores dignity where it has once been denied. Allow me to close with these words, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Namibians. As we launch this revised national policy on disability, let us remember, inclusion is not achieved through words alone. It lives in the choices we make every day, as government, as development partners, in our policies, in our institutions, in our communities, in our homes, and in our hearts. Together, let us build a Namibia where every person, regardless of ability, can stand tall, participate fully, and contribute meaningfully to our nation's growth. Let this policy be our collective promise that no Namibian will ever be left behind. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Philanda. Let us give her a big applause. Yes, she has emphasized disability inclusion, partnership, and collaboration. These are key concepts to ensure that we work with all our stakeholders, including with the government, to ensure that the policies are fully implemented and it brings concrete benefits to our people. Thank you very much. At this juncture, we are now at the climax of this event, where we will now have Her Excellency, the Vice President, delivering her keynote address and launch officially this policy. But before she does that, it's my distinct honor to invite the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Ngurare, to introduce the keynote speaker. So let us welcome the Prime Minister to the stage, to the podium.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kahorongo, Director of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, Comrade Lucia Vetboy, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia. Before I continue, I wanted to try if I understand this language properly. Zoals ek gesê het van mense wat van Valgras is. Wat ook al I say here, if it is wrong, please blame Valgras, nie ons. Is that correct? So let's give a round of applause to Valgras. Baie dankie. Honorable Sam Shafishuna Nuyoma, Governor of the Commerce Region, Honorable Nono Kachingiswa, MP and Chairperson of the Standing Committee on Gender Equality, Health and Social Welfare, Honorable Alexia Manombe Nkube, MP and former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs. Let's give her a round of applause. Special advisors in the office of the Vice President and the office of the Prime Minister, Elder Dion Baisako, congratulations. Secretary General of the Mental Health Association, the Air Marshal, first time they are still coming, NDF, yes, NDF is here, and Auditor General, Yeleswo Kiso, Paihut, Amoroke Akuru, the Ombudsman, Diakua, representatives from the organizations representing the people with disabilities, Ms. Angelique Philander, Chief Executive Officer. Let's give her a round of applause. Ms. Jessica Kawanap, Project Leader, and NGC and Head, Legal and Company Secretary, LS Dimense wat baie hard werk. How's my Afrikaans? Is it woordgraad? Okay. Charlie Matengu, Chairperson of the NDCN Board of Directors, representatives of the institutions of higher learning that are here, the UNAM of Namibia, the UNAM of NAST, the UNAM of IUM, and all the UNAMs that are here. Senior officials from government and the National Disability Council of Namibia, really let's give them a round of applause, especially the latter. Distinguished invited guests, distinguished sponsors, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed everyone that has turned out here, give yourself a round of applause. 28 years ago, Namibia adopted the first national policy on disability. Since then, our Vision 2030, ratification of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and the African Disability Protocol have enshrined in our law and our conscience the non-negotiable principle that Ms. Philander spoke to. And we are happy that the United Nations Secretary General is here. I know, my sister, I'm elevating you, but please say I receive, because you are sitting next to Falchras. Let's give her a round of applause. Furthermore, our Constitution, as adopted in 1990, equally under Article 10, enshrined a firm commitment that every Namibian, regardless of their circumstances, is entitled to the rights and freedoms that flow from our independence. Before we came here, we were in a room of briefing with the Vice President. And we said the following, just as was said by Ms. Philander and others. And I would like, amongst many things that I would say here in introducing our leader, the Vice President, that disability is a fundamental human right. It is in all of us, our homes and everywhere. And therefore, the leadership you have provided, Vice President, is a human right. Wherever there is a heartbeat, does not matter whatever the shelf of that body is a heartbeat of human right. So when we feel with them, we hold with them, and we do this, it is from us to them. It is from the heart, because die Here wat vir ons geskape het, is dieselfde Here wat almal geskape het. So therefore, the Vice President, as has said numerous occasions, as well as the Disability Council, over 152,000 Namibians living with disabilities today. As you have heard from the elder bicycle, those barriers are still with us today. Too many children are excluded from classrooms which are not adapted to their needs. Too many young people are denied jobs because workplaces are not accessible. Too many communities lack the infrastructure, the tools, the understanding to embrace disability as part of human diversity. This policy that brings us here today, we are investing our seed of hope in it to change that. Therefore, when I tabled the motion in Parliament for noting, as the Vice President has said, on behalf of the Vice President, to gazette this revised policy, I said then, and I repeat today, that disability inclusion is not an act of charity, but is a constitutional duty. It is a matter of justice. It is a matter of human rights. Today's launch is the fruition of collective action spearheaded by the leadership of the Vice President and all others who have gone before and who have been adequately acknowledged by my good sister here, and coordinated by the National Disability Council of Namibia. And I met them numerously. The passion with which they speak, the passion with which they want to see action, is a passion I want Elder Bicycle to pray louder, so that onze almachtige hemelse Vader ook dit kan embrace en sê, dis die regte direction wat ons moet take, wat ons moet vat. You understand the Afrikaans? Die battery lyk my dit gaan nou bietjie pap wees. But most importantly, as I'm sure you will hear from the Vice President, the implementation of this policy will make Namibia a place in which people with disabilities can truly share opportunities and fully reach their potential and participate meaningfully in our modern society, wherein they feel they are not looked down upon, but they too can rise just like the sun can rise, just like the moon can be seen, just like the stars can be seen. They too are precisely the sunshine of our lives. Let's give them a round of applause. The disability policy rests, as you have said, as you have heard, on the deep-seated empathy and heartfelt compassion that seamlessly run through NDP 6, and central plank from which the 8th administration dispenses services to all Namibians, regardless of their conditions and circumstances. As you saw me going out on the phone, it was the President, and I'm sure she has also said to the Vice President, she's very passionate about this, and she sends greetings to you. At the heart of developing this policy has been the people with disabilities. Their everyday experiences have been at the heart of this process, and they will be at the heart of this implementation too. I therefore urge all stakeholders to participate fully in the implementation of this policy for the well-being of persons with disabilities. But what is most important is that this policy, as the Governor has indicated, should not be regarded merely as just another document, but as a pledge by all of us to the transformation of our institutional frameworks and equitable opportunities within our nation. The genuine dismantling of long-standing barriers required sustained meaningful engagement, the implementation of practical reforms, and of course, ongoing monitoring and evaluation. In other words, not just a document, but it's a document that must ignite in all of us the agency of now. In her State of the Nation address, President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah said, and I quote, "Our path to prosperity shall not be easy, and we should all work hard to live up to the binding contract we have signed with Namibians. I'm confident that together we can fulfill the promise that tomorrow holds for a Namibia that is just for each and every citizen," unquote. In other words, a child with disability in the remotest corner of our country, be it Kambimba, be it Epukiro, be it Falharas, be it Okangwati, be it Okombahe, be it Omdaungilo, be it Malengalenga, have the same chance to thrive as any child in the affluent areas of our society. That is the Namibia we must build by implementing this policy. Honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my duty and privilege to introduce not just a fellow leader, but a good sister, a good comrade, a committed ground soldier, one that has and embodies the love and passion, the compassion and empathy to those that we have come to speak about today. And that, Her Excellency, the Vice President, Comrade Lucia Vetboy, embodies the values of resilience, compassion, and inclusivity that we are here to celebrate. Her Excellency, Comrade Vetboy, hails from the Karas region, Diseide Makfriede. Ik heb vanochtend met de gouverneur gepraat. En die eerste woord wat hij gezegd, Diseide Makfriede, ik heb voor hem gezegd, die vice-president is vandaag hier en zij zal zeggen, Namibia maakt vrede met disability. She began her journey as an educator for 27 years in Hibian, Malta here, and Marintown, shaping generations of young Namibians and instilling in them the values of knowledge, the values of dignity, the values of patriotism, the value of compassion, the value of empathy for the human person. Since independence, she has carried the same spirit of service into the highest offices of our land. She served as Deputy Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, as Deputy Minister of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security, as long-serving Member of Parliament, and as Africa Regional Chairperson of the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians, advancing Namibia's voice on the continental stage. Most importantly, as a mother is a deputy God, because the one that God has delegated that responsibility to bring life is a woman. Because of that, her passion for inclusivity is not by accident. It flows like the blood in her vein. Comrade Lucia Vetboy is a mother of us all here in this room, and so too all those that are watching this historic event that we have come to celebrate today. Let's give her another round of applause. On the 21st March this year, especially the 22nd of it, she was appointed the 4th Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, because the first was Comrade Nikki Yambo, second Comrade Nangolo Mbumba, third Comrade Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, and the fourth is yours truly, Comrade Lucia Vetboy, with the responsibility of championing the rights of persons with disabilities and, as you have heard, indigenous communities. It is fitting, therefore, that she is the host of today's event. We are all her invitee, and the one entrusted to officially launch this policy, this historic policy, a policy that opens a page in our journey to bring equality and inclusivity to this matter. Your Excellency, Comrade Vice President, as a colleague, as your young brother, as your comrade, I wish to commend you for your leadership, your humility, and your unwavering dedication to making sure that no Namibian is left behind. The nation recognizes your work, and I personally salute you because you have remained njikiti in ensuring that this matter gets prominence, that this matter gets center stage, that above all, every person with a disability must have the dignity, the voice, and even to be abhorred by her as a mother. Fellow Namibians, let us support the Vice President as she leads us in turning this policy into action. Let this launch remind us we are stronger when we are inclusive, more prosperous when we are united, and we are more free when every Namibian has the chance to live with dignity. It is now my great honor and privilege to invite Her Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, Comrade Lucia Vetboy, to address this gathering and to officially launch the revised national policy on disability. I thank you very much.
Thank you. You may be seated. Yeah. The Right Honorable Dr. Elia Gurare, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia. Now, the next one, I used to say, your surname is very difficult. So I told her again, spell it for me. Put it for me on paper. And she did it like those days. Honorable Nono Kachi Ngiswa Siwa. My apologies. She's the chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Gender Equality, Health and Social Welfare. Honorable Alexia Manombe Ngube, the former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs. In her briefing notes, and when she came to me, she told me that this is an outstanding issue. It was already close to cabinet, but it was somewhere. So she told me, and I make it a priority to let it pass, approved by cabinet, and then noted by Parliament, our elected representatives. Distinguished invited guests, especially persons living with disabilities and the marginalized community. Today, you will get an official name, indigenous minorities, because the cabinet have approved that word from marginalized to indigenous minorities. You must understand, there are so many. It's people living with albinism, Watsum, many. Now, the sign language, we are saying we are used to, let us give them a round of applause, then we just make it like that. Yeah, we have to change. Sometimes and sometimes we have to. Yeah. Thank you. So we'll also have an event where we will celebrate the renaming from marginalized to indigenous minority. And allow me to stand by the protocol already established. Now, my Prime Minister, you introduced me so well. There was a funeral, apparently, of a husband and a father. Of course, a friend and so on. Now the mother and the children were sitting there. And speaker after speaker would talk just nice things about this person. Praising, you. And later the mom says, it's okay. Maybe it's not your father's funeral. Let's go. Because the things that I'm hearing here is yeah. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, for your introduction. Now, when I got my appointment letter on the 22nd of March 2015, I put the envelope. I was the first to receive it. So I put the envelope there close to me. But then I was curious, what is in that letter? It's not, I know that it should not be just an ordinary appointment letter. There must be a message, a policy directive in there. So while the other appointments was on, I opened it. And I read genocide. Among the other writings, responsible for genocide. Persons living with disabilities, marginalized communities. Now, shortly after that, they start now, you people, my people, Shona, you start asking, now where do we belong? Now that Nube is not there, Royal is not, where? So, wherever I go, I introduce myself to you. Now you belong to me. And you are under the office of the presidency and under my own. She assigned that duty to my office, the vice president's office. So you are my children. We are together. We are that big family. A big family that I believe will work together. Not for me or whoever, but for all of us, especially the persons living with disabilities and the indigenous minorities people. So you belong to me, to my office. Yeah. Having said that, good morning once again. It is a great honor and privilege that I stand before you today at this memorable occasion. The official launch of the revised national policy on disability of 2025 to 2035 and its costed implementation plan for the period. Today's gathering is a moment of renewal, reflection, and reaffirmation. It's a moment when Namibia once again commits itself to the full inclusion, participation, and empowerment of persons with disabilities as equal citizens of our country. When the first national policy on disability was adopted in 1997, it provided a foundation for coordinated action and awareness. It was a milestone at the time, the first of its kind in post-independent Namibia. However, as years passed, we recognize that, that society had progressed, the world had advanced, and our understanding of issues of disability had deepened. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, the adoption of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in 2007, and Namibia's ratification thereof directs a global shift from considering disability as a welfare issue to an understanding that it is a human right and development issue. Therefore, this evolution called for an updated, a modern, inclusive, and rights-based policy framework that will reflect the real realities of Namibians with disabilities throughout our country. Ladies and gentlemen, the revised national policy on disability that we are launching today replaces the 1997 policy and firmly anchors Namibia's commitment to the principles of equality, dignity, and non-discrimination. It is built on the understanding that disability is not a limitation of a person, but rather a reflection of the barriers created by our society. Amongst others, barriers in the physical environment, communication, education, employment, and sometimes in our attitudes. By embracing a rights-based approach, this policy ensures that persons with disabilities are no longer viewed as recipients of charity, but as active citizens, leaders, and contributors to the cause of our national development. This is not only a matter of social justice, it is a matter of economic and moral necessity. We will not successfully achieve the developmental objectives of Vision 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals, or the National Development Plan, NDP 6, if, as a country, we leave behind a segment of our people. It is on this basis that the Swapo Party Election Manifesto's implementation plan declares that our government's agenda must be aimed towards improving the lives of all our citizens through economic emancipation and social inclusion. Therefore, persons with disabilities, through its revised policy, are worthy of inclusion in the developmental agenda of our government. Ladies and gentlemen, the revision of the 1997 policy was not merely a formality. It was a national dialogue involving persons with disabilities, their representatives, organizations, policy makers, service providers, and development partners. The process revealed key challenges that persons with disabilities continue to face, for example, limited access to education and employment, inadequate healthcare services, inaccessible infrastructure, and underrepresentation at the decision-making levels. This revised policy, therefore, aims to close these gaps by creating a framework that guarantees equal access, participation, and protection from discrimination in every aspect of life. It speaks directly to our constitutional values and to Namibia's commitment to human dignity, equality before the law, and freedom from discrimination. Ladies and gentlemen, the Coasted Implementation Plan, turning words into action. A policy is only as strong as its implementation. The Coasted Implementation Plan that accompanies this revised policy is therefore a powerful tool, a roadmap that transforms commitments into measurable actions. It clearly defines what needs to be done, by whom, when, and with what resources. It allocates responsibilities across government ministries, regional councils, and local authorities, and it aligns budgets and timelines to ensure accountability. Through this plan, Namibia is saying, we are serious about results. We are moving from policy statements to policy delivery, from promises to performance. Therefore, this revised policy plan identifies priority areas such as access to inclusive education at all levels, employment and economic empowerment opportunities, accessible healthcare and rehabilitation, infrastructure and transport accessibility, inclusive disaster risk management, empowerment of organizations of persons with disabilities and caretakers of persons with disabilities, representation in decision-making, and strengthening the capacity of the disability sector itself. Each of these policy objectives is costed and will be monitored, and I will really, as long as I'm here, I will be on it, and evaluated as practical strategies to ensure that the rights of persons with disabilities are not aspirational, but actionable. Thus, I call on the government and the private sector to reconsider funding for disability-related programs and for each ministry, office, ministry, agency to implement disability-centered budgeting to ensure the realization of these policy objectives. Now, we were told when we went through these workshops and so on, when I was a member of parliament at that time, then we advocate for women empowerment and women inclusivity and gender representation. When you got the document, you must first trace the word male, female. Your lens, you have to put on that lens. Therefore, I urge you to put on that lens when you get the document to look first that word, persons living with disability, indigenous minority. In the budget book, that big book, if that big book doesn't include somewhere there, then you must know. So put on that lenses. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, the launching of this revised policy today is not the end of the process, but the beginning of a new era of partnership and accountability. Government cannot walk this path alone. The implementation of this policy will require the active participation of every sector ministry, regional and local authorities, the private sector, academia, civil society, and persons with disabilities themselves. I therefore call upon all of us to work together to integrate disability inclusion into our strategic plans, into our budgets, and into our programs. Prime Minister, at these national events that we have, for example, we must move to have, because they have also organized groups so that they perform, the performance there. Why can we not make use of an item prepared by persons with disabilities? We have to move to it. That's why I at the Heroes Day at Katima, I said they must wait for me there. I want people with wheelchairs. I want people with the albinism people were there, and they were there receiving me. I got a grand entrance, just for them. And I told the what is the people there? The protocol people, make space for them there. From the high table there, you see, you have to respect also the other protocols. Now next to, so that they can be seated there as high people. So we have to change that so that we can have items there. The principle of nothing about us, without us, must guide our actions. Persons with disabilities should not be consulted as an afterthought, but they should be involved from planning to implementation, from monitoring to evaluation. Ladies and gentlemen, the government, as a government, our appreciation goes to the National Disability Council of Namibia for leading this important process with dedication and a clear vision. Its tireless advocacy and technical inputs, as well as the organizations of persons with disabilities for their leadership and lived experience that shape this policy. In the same vein, our gratitude goes to the United Nations systems in Namibia, our development partners, and civil society organizations that provided technical and financial support to this process. As we move forward, let us remember that disability inclusion is not a favor. It is a fundamental part of human development. When we make our schools accessible, we educate every child. When we make our workplaces inclusive, we grow our economy. When we make our towns barrier-free, we build a Namibia for all. Every ramp, every sign language interpreter, every accessible document, and every inclusive policy is a step towards realizing the Namibia we all want to see. Namibia, where every citizen, regardless of ability, can live with dignity and contribute meaningfully towards the development of this country. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, as we launch this revised policy and its implementation plan, let us do So, with commitment and conviction, let us turn our promises into action, our aspirations, our aspirations into outcomes, and our inclusion into transformation. Let this policy serve as a reminder that progress is not measured by how far the strong have advanced, but by how far the marginalized have been empowered to move towards with them. Together, let us build a Namibia that leaves no one behind, a Namibia that sees ability in disability, strength in diversity, and unity in inclusion. Having said that, Right Honorable Prime Minister, our distinguished guest, it is now my honor to officially launch the revised National Policy on Disability and its costed implementation plan. I thank you. Yes, we will come there. And therefore, it is now my distinct honor to launch with pride for the Namibian people the revised national policy on disabilities. The hard workers come, the council members, the ombudsman comes, when the complaints will come to you.
Let me just put the Ganavali, you've got me.
we leave out defense. Come and join us. And who else? Come. The ombudsman, the AG's office, someone from the AG's office, where are they? If there's somebody from the AG's office, because they are the ones who finally.
Say you are blocking the document. Say you are blocking the document.
AG, just here behind. It's the AG's office in. When something, people are asking questions, then you said the AG's office.
Okay, you're taking.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yo, a mí me observan a modo bien. Oh.
Thank you. Let us take our seats. Let's take our seats. So the policy, the national policy on disability 2025 to 2030, and its implementation period 2025 to 2030-35 has been officially launched. Thank you, Comrade Vice President Omake. Thank you very much. The unveiling is consisting of 3 parts. So we are done with the first part of launching the main policy. Now we will witness the launching of the implementation plan, which will be done by Mr. Charlie Matengu, Chairperson of the Board, Ms. Angelique Filanda, CEO, and joined by Mr. Mateus Hashongo, Chairperson of the Federation, and Ms. Miriam Sam from the Women with Disabilities Chairperson. Thank you very much. I think they are already on stage. So they are launching the implementation plan. Thank you very much. Are there some people joining you? Monsieur? Yes, done. The implementation plan is launched. Next, the last item is the Braille version of the policy. Yeah? Braille. What is the correct pronunciation? Braille, yes, Braille version of the policy. We are going to witness the launching of that one, which will be done by Ms. Jessica Havachap, project leader and head, and legal and the company secretary, and Ms. Moses Ngipandurwa, chairperson of the Namibia Federation of the Visually Impaired. and they are to be joined by Honorable Mandombe Tobe, former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs. Maybe move it a bit that side so that it doesn't cover the, yes. So the Braille version of the policy is being unveiled. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Vice President, for launching of the policy. Now the policy is launched. I think we will need some entertainment just to celebrate this occasion. I was given 3 groups that are prepared to entertain us. 3 of them, I will maybe call them in the order that they were given to me. The first performer, perhaps we can give a chance to the first performer just to let us celebrate this occasion. The first performer is Miss Anna, the fruitist. Anna, are you available? Yes, please welcome Anna on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Anna the flutist. Please do enjoy this one with me. Is it on? Yeah. Stage.
Thank you very much, Anna. Omake, please let us give you another round of applause. It's indeed true that disability is not inability. Thank you very much. At this juncture, as I have announced at the beginning of the program, is that Her Excellency, the Vice President, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, they have another national assignment to attend to. So we will then, at this occasion, excuse Her Excellency, the Vice President and the Right Honorable Prime Minister to continue with other national assignments. So they will leave us, but the program will continue. The program is continuing up to the end. We will now give them a chance. They will leave the hall, and then later we'll continue the program. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Maybe while the other colleagues are ushering out the principals, perhaps we can have another performance. We can have another performance while we are preparing ourselves to continue the program. We can have another performance by Mr. Franz Sinengela. Franz, Mr. Franz, are you available? Mr. Franz? Yes, yes. We will have a performance by Mr. Franz. And then after the performance by Mr. Franz, we will then have the next, we will continue with the next item on the agenda, which is overview of the revised national policy on disability by Ms. Jessica Gavashap, project leader and the NDCN head legal and the company secretary. Oh. Okay.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yes, all protocol observed. So, I don't know whether it's Mr. DJ, track number 5, we need to go to Jamaica. Are you familiar with Jamaica? When I talk about Jamaica, please give us a bit of some volume. Akutuwe wanda kanifa ependa fule Akutuhe wanda ningofie kombada edon. Omtima wateka, omtima wateka, omtima waluluma, omtima wateka, omtima waluluma, kutuhewa, 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 omtima tuhewa. Omtima wateka, omtima waluma, omtima wateka, omtima waluma, wateka, omtima waluma. Ole oye inene itantitimba. Enyebuto eto makumaito nente mudo. Enyetito e wapango nente mudo. Makuto e watate. O me na firu. Popirali na me. Akuto e na firu. Popirali na me. Ole oye inene itantitima. Nenjoba toe toma kumaito andetinina. Nengetito e wapanga andente mudo. Akutu e watate. Oamena fiu itopo piwali na me. Oamena fiu itopo piwali na me. Okay, now we got Jamaica. Come on. Us. Jamaica. Are you hearing that? Come on. Jamaica, come on. Yes. Jamaica. Daddy, I call your name. Daddy. call your name. Daddy, I call your name. Yeah, thank you very much. This song was dedicated to the fathers. This song was dedicated to the fathers. Thank you very much. So I took you to Jamaica. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Let us give him another round of applause. Thank you very much. I'm still to be guided. There were pictures to be taken with the principals outside. Is it done? So that we can continue. Yeah? Oh, it will be taken later. Okay, we are continuing with the program. The next item on the program now is the presentation on the overview of the revised policy. Ms. Jessica Gavachap. Yeah? Yes, that's what it's on the program. Okay, please inform Ms. Gavachap that she has the floor actually. She must come to make a presentation because the time is against us. I hope I'm informed she's still outside. I hope she has been informed that it's a chance. She's coming. Okay, maybe in that case, I'm informed that she's engaged with other very important functions. She will come a bit later. Maybe we can just proceed with the next item also. Eh? Oh, Ms. Khavahap, you have the floor to make a presentation on the overview of the revised national policy on disability and its implementation plan. Yes, may we please give her the floor?
Thank you, Edie. Good morning. I stand on the protocol established, Director of Ceremonies, but before I start, I would like us to give a round of applause to persons with disabilities, as this is a policy that has been designed for the inclusion of persons with disabilities. So please assist me. So in 2019, Honorable Alexia Manobe-Ncube, the then former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs, indicated to the National Disability Council that she had an intention to review and amend the National Disability Council Act. It is on that It is on that notion that Honorable Alexia Manobe-Ncube transferred the project to the National Disability Council of Namibia. When we started studying the Act and certain recommendations and looking at areas of reform, we took note that in the National Disability Council Act 26 of 2004, that the National Policy on Disability is actually attached as a schedule to the bill, to the Act rather. With that, it was imperative for us to then also consider the amendment and the review of the National Disability Policy. With that, the National Disability Council started a project which was called the Legislative Review Project. The Legislative Review Project was broken down into 3 phases, of which the phase 1 related to legal academia on the rights and protection of persons with disabilities. When we started our review and we tried to conduct a desk research in the amendment and the review of the policy and in the amendment of the Act of the Legislative Review Project, which contextualized the review and the amendment of the National Policy on Disability. The National Policy on Disability, as indicated by Her Excellency the Vice President, was adopted in 1997, albeit it was attached and annexed as a schedule to the Act of 2004. After the adoption of the policy in 1997, we then had an Act in 2004, and then in 2007, the government ratified the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. So now, if you look at the timeline, you will see 1997, the policy, 2004, and in 2007, there was a ratification of the policy. Recently, 2024, we ratified the African Protocol on the Charter of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. What we deemed and what we noted when we conducted the review on the policy is that with all of these legal developments that have taken place regarding the rights of persons with disabilities, the policy remained stagnant in 1997. Our policy did not reflect the contemporary initiatives and programs, as well as the strength and resilience of people with disabilities. That started the review process. We consulted all 14 regions of the country during 2024, which was last year, on the revised policy. We clustered some of the regions together, and we invited mostly persons with disabilities. In this consultative process, we reached out to persons with disabilities across, I think, 21 categories of persons with disabilities: albinism, short stature, the visually impaired as well as the blind, the deaf community, those with mental, intellectual disabilities, as well as the key stakeholders and service providers to persons with disabilities. In our consultative process, it came to light many of the challenges and social barriers that persons with disabilities face. And in that, we took note that these are equally aligned to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which I will moving forward be referring to as the CRPD. So in that alignment, there are certain key principles that are presented by the CRPD that I will briefly run over, as Her Excellency has already gone into detail regarding some of these special target areas that have been introduced in the policy. Firstly, it is the accessibility of infrastructure. When we speak of accessibility of infrastructure for persons with disabilities, the first assumption is that it is buildings, spatial planning and building. But we included as well ICT, information communication technology, the accessibility of transport as well. In our consultations, it came to light that a lot of persons with disabilities do not have access to public transport because of the accessibility of the vehicles. We've looked at ICT for the hearing, for the deaf, as well as, I want to give a practical example. It's an elevator. If you get on an elevator and you are blind, you do not know on which floor you are. You do not know which button to press to indicate to which floor you will go. And that ideally is intertwined between the accessibility of infrastructure as well as accessibility of ICT. The next policy objective speaks to the discriminatory laws within the country that inhibit the lives of persons with disability. And on that second policy objective, we looked at how can government abolish and repeal some of these laws, or alternatively amend the laws that discriminate and inhibit the lives of persons with disabilities. I also want to give an example, which is the Abortion and Sterilization Act, which states that a person with if a mother who is pregnant, if there's a high risk that the baby and the fetus, or high likelihood rather, would have a disability, that the doctor has the primary discretion whether to terminate that fetus or not. We feel that that violates the right of a person with disability as a fetus with disability. And if you have a mother with bodily autonomy, you should ideally have the human right to exercise any healthcare choices. Secondly, also, we have taken note that many persons with disability are discriminated against in healthcare, where family planning, sexual reproductive health are inhibited for persons with disability. It is called taboo and seen as a stigma. And the repeal of these discriminatory laws are aimed at looking at how can we change the attitude and the conduct within these various sectors. The next policy objective speaks to criminal justice as well as criminal protection of persons with disabilities in court. We have taken note that there's only sign language interpretation available in Namibian courts, but yet there's a lack of other type of accessibility universal designs within our court systems. We are looking at in-camera courts for children with disabilities, as well as victims with disabilities. Through the advocacy of the Council and in conjunction with the Ministry of Justice, the amendment to the Rape Act has now also been extended to include the rape of a person with disability as an aggravating circumstance for sentencing purposes. Other policy objectives also include strategies such as the caretakers and caregivers. How do we support caregivers and caretakers? Education and health. We indicated that a lot of our schools are quite a distance from the homes and the villages within the rural areas. And we posed the question, how can we ensure that those students and learners with disabilities can access the education systems and can access schools? Now, it's not only in terms of the building as well, but is the material adapted for children with disabilities? We included those with learning disabilities as well, so the information and the curricula that is set up by Ministry of Education has to make sure that it aligns with the disability requirements of our learners as well. We considered also employment. There are concepts such as self-sheltered employment and reasonable accommodation that are introduced in the UN CRPD. And these were key concepts that we introduced in the policy as well. How does the employer ensure that the person with disability can fully employ and execute their functions and duties for which they have been appointed for? I think that is a very key. We have seen a lot of cases at the National Disability Council where our clients have been dismissed on grounds of incapacity merely because they have a disability. And the National Disability Council looked into the issue of how can we ensure that persons with disabilities are not discriminated against in the workplace, but are rather accommodated by their employer. Some of the key activities also that we are looking into is funding in the policy that has been proposed for OPDs, organizations of persons with disabilities. Now, for those that are not aware, organizations of persons with disabilities, OPDs, form part of a civil society in Namibia. And these are key stakeholders. They represent persons with disabilities on grassroots levels. The Namibia Federation of the Visually Impaired, Mr. Moses, that joined us for the unveiling of the Braille policy. They give training to the visually impaired on how to use a white cane and how to adapt with the acquisition of a disability of a visual impairment. And this is very key because some of the service providers are not able to provide that support to government, and on that we felt that it was very important in the policy to empower our civil organizations as well. So those are some of the key objectives. I would like So I don't bore you with the legals and a policy speech, colleagues. I would like to go into some of the key strategies that have been proposed by or actually adopted by with the policy by government. One key strategy was the collection of data on persons with disability. If anyone is active in the disability fraternity, will take note that we lack disaggregated data for persons with disabilities. We had the POP census that took place, and we commend the Namibia Statistics Agency for asking the Washington World questions on disability, but they are not quite specific. If they ask, do you have a visual impairment, I would answer yes. But does my visual impairment qualify as a person with disability? The answer is no. So we questioned the accuracy of these questions, and we took note, albeit we commended that we need specific information so that government can also give specific solutions and services to the needs of persons with disabilities. So one of them is the data collection and research, and we are partnering with the Office of the Prime Minister. The Office of the Prime Minister has been highlighted as a key stakeholder. They are the centralized office for ICT and information management within government. The National Disability Council, in conjunction with the Office of the Prime Minister, will then establish a disability information management system. On this information management system, we will then collect all the data across the country relating to all and various sectors or information pieces on persons with disabilities, and then this would be then uploaded on the information management system as well. We have also looked at how can we improve and promote cultural, religious, and recreational sports and political activities for persons with disabilities. This is something that really lags behind. When we speak of quality of life, we think it's only healthcare and education. And we forget that persons with disabilities can also participate in sports and in religious activities as well as political activities. Persons with disabilities should not only be viewed as voters, but should equally be viewed as, like our Honorable Ngube, who was our former Deputy Minister, as qualified and super political representatives within this country. So these are some of the strategies that we have included in the policy, colleagues. I would like to apologize. I know it was very brief and very fast, but we do have an information desk in front where we have a copy of the policy available. We also have the legal report, which forms part of an annexure of the policy as well. And within that, you will also get a copy of the implementation action plan, where all of the details around the national policy on disability is contained in. And the National Disability Council is always available to give support to our stakeholders should you need any guidance on the interpretation of the policy and on the support as well. I would, as project leader, I would like to commend the far right left corner. If my colleagues can just stand up for a minute, Team NDCN. The project, people that don't sleep at night, we go back at 2 o'clock. I'd like to say thank you to the team who made the policy possible. They're wearing the navy blue blazers with our emblem on the left. If you need any assistance as well during the course of the day in the program, please do consult them. They will help you. But on that note, I would like to thank persons with disabilities. We are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kavanagh, for the very eloquent and clear explanation of the overview of the policy on disability. I think we have come a long way from 1997 to now. So it's quite many years, and we are just now, 2025, trying to bring in all aspects of human rights, education, law, politics, everything into this to ensure that people living with disabilities enjoy all equal rights like every Namibian. Thank you very much. Let us give her a round of applause. Yes, we are running with the program. The time is also, I think it's not too bad. It's not too bad. We have a performance there, but maybe it should wait. It should wait until Honorable Alexia Manombe has delivered her remarks. Then we will have a performance by Ms. Sovita Joshua after Honorable Ntube has delivered her remarks. It's now my distinct honor to request Honorable Alexia Manombe Ntube to deliver remarks. Honorable Ntube is a member of Parliament and former Deputy Minister of Disability Affairs. I think we will need some assistance here to bring the speaker down. You can bring it where she is. Yes, let us welcome Ms. Ntube on stage.
Good morning. The clapping is not so hard. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now you are really encouraging. The Vice President is gone, Prime Minister, Commerce, Governor, but in their absence, they are recognized. Let me start with the Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Gender Equality, Health and Social Welfare, and the Ombudsperson, Advocate Basilius Jakua, and the Chairperson of the National Disability Council, Chief Executive Officer, Mrs. Angelique Philander, and the entire staff of National Disability Council. The representatives of the organizations of people with disabilities and organizations for persons with disabilities, the management staff of Disability Affairs from the Office of the VP, the media houses present here, the Chief of Army present here also, the Chairperson of the NFPDN, our elder, Mr. Baisako, who have given us the spiritual feeding, the fellow Namibians, and all staff also from the Office of the Vice President, those that I don't know that I have also just met, and those that we know each other. Honorable members, today, as we launch the revised National Disability Policy of 2025 and its costed implementation plan, we mark a significant milestone in our journey towards an inclusive society. This policy is more than just a document. It is a commitment to ensuring that every Namibian, regardless of their ability, has the opportunity to thrive. The costed implementation is a testament to our dedication to putting words into action. It outlines specific steps we will take to promote accessibility, education, employment, and healthcare for persons with disabilities. The theme, Building an Inclusive Namibia from Policy to Action, resonates deeply with our commitment to translating words into tangible actions. This policy is a blueprint for change, and we embarked on this journey. We recognize that inclusivity is not just a moral imperative, but a strategic advantage. By harnessing the talents, skills, and experience of all Namibians, we can unlock our nation's full potential and build a more prosperous future for all. As a former Deputy Minister responsible for this sector, I had the privilege of initiating the revision of the National Disability Council Act with the National Policy on Disability with the aim to align with the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which Namibia as a country ratified. This alignment involves promoting inclusivity, protecting human rights, and ensures that no one is left behind. I am thrilled to see that this long-awaited revised policy is launched today by our Vice President. And I'm confident that it will make a significant impact in the lives of persons with disabilities across our country. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all stakeholders, including persons with disabilities, civil society organizations, the UN agencies, and the government of the Republic of Namibia, for their tireless efforts and contribution to this process. Your dedication and commitment to promoting the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities are truly commendable. I appreciate also, sincerely, the organizers for recognizing my contribution by inviting me to give remarks at this significant occasion. I am humbled by the opportunity to be part of this momentous event, and I appreciate the trust you place in me. It is heartening to see the progress we have made in promoting the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities, and I am honored to have played a part in shaping the national disability policy. I look forward to continuing our collective efforts towards building a more inclusive society for all. As a person with disability myself, I want to assure you that I will always stand for the rights and fight for the recognition of persons with disabilities as long as the air flows through my nostrils. I'm committed to advocating for inclusivity, equality, and justice for all people, regardless of their abilities. This is not just a moral obligation, but a fundamental human rights issue. I am committed to using my voice to advocate for the rights of persons with disabilities and look forward for working with all stakeholders to ensure that our nation continues to progress towards greater inclusivity and equality for all. It would be a remiss of me if I don't take this opportunity to appreciate the National Disability Council of Namibia for their tireless efforts in keeping the momentum on disability. Your unwavering commitment to promoting the dignity of persons with disabilities has not gone unnoticed. On the contrary, it has been truly inspiring to see the impact of your work. Please know that your work is valued, recognized, and appreciated. To my fellow persons with disabilities, as government launching this policy is to reaffirm its commitment to your rights and dignity, creating a society that values diversity, promotes inclusion, and empower persons to reach their potential, recognizing that you are not just beneficiaries, but rather agents of change. We will have to work tirelessly to ensure that as persons with disabilities, we have access to the opportunities and resources deserved by all in Namibia. Let us concentrate on what brings value to our cause and fight for our recognition and inclusion. Let's make sure our voices are heard and valued. We deserve a seat at the table of decision-making processes, and our voices matter. As the saying goes, united we stand, divided we fall. Let us put our differences aside and work to make this vision a reality. Director of the proceedings, I am honored to work alongside all these wonderful leaders from different backgrounds and sectors who share passion for creating a more inclusive society. Collaboration and diverse perspective are key to driving meaningful change, and I'm excited to see what we can achieve together. In conclusion, Director of Ceremonies, I call upon all stakeholders, including government, agencies, organizations of persons with disabilities, and private sectors to work together to implement this policy effectively. Let the policy not sit in shelves and collect dust. Let us create a Namibia where every individual can contribute their unique abilities, free from barriers and discrimination. Indeed, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and of course, together we'll reach that tunnel. Let's keep moving forward with hope and determination. Thank you. Okuhepa, Onda Pandula, Baie Danki, Kai Ayo, Kiali Boga, Litumetsi, Dankeschön, Siyabonga kakhulu.
Yes, thank you very much. Let us keep moving forward with. I'm just testing whether you were listening. Let us keep moving forward with determination to ensure that the policy is fully implemented. Thank you very much. Let us give Honorable Manzipe a round of applause. Thank you very much. Now we are moving. I think we had one last performance. I'm informed that we should close this session by 11. By 11, I hope the performance will not be too long. By where's my note now? Yes, performance, last performance by Miss Sovita Yoshua. Miss Sovita Yoshua, performance. And then immediately after her performance, it will be followed by a vote of thanks and official closure by Mr. Charlie Matengu, chairperson of the National Disability Council of Namibia Board of Directors. Ms. Joshua, you have the floor. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. It's a great honor for me to stand here today. Yeah, my name is Sovita Joshua, a young woman proudly living with albinism. I did not allow my skin color to look down on myself, but I stood up and I am encouraging everybody else living with albinism that you are wonderfully and fearfully made in the image of God, and please be proud of yourself. Thank you. I'm going to give you a song from my album, which says, "Itandiloloka okulonga uwanawa." It just encourages you not to get tired to do good. Thank you.
Are you there? I said, are you there?
If you
Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is very, very, very beautiful. Performance, not performance, but vote of thanks. Sorry. The performance was very excellent. It was good. Vote of thanks and official closure by Mr. Charlie Matengu. You have the floor.
Well, thank you so much, Director of Ceremonies. I think right before I get into my vote of thanks, I think it will be noble that we once again give the last performer a big round of applause. I love her entrance words and what a defining encouragement, not only to persons with albinism, but to those with different forms of disabilities, that no matter what, notwithstanding whatever situation you find yourself, the sky is the limit. Directors of ceremony, please allow me to stand on the protocol that was already established by our principals on this very interesting day, very memorable day, just to remind ourselves that what we are witnessing here is not basic. What we are witnessing here is paramount and supreme achievement, and that is basically history in the making. So we have just created and we have just become part and parcel of the history. It is therefore my great honor and privilege to give the vote of thanks on behalf of the National Disability Council of Namibia at this historic occasion, the launch of the revised national policy on disability and the costed implementation plan. There's quite a lot of stakeholders that did play a very active role, and Director of Ceremony, if you can grant me latitude that I should be able to recognize those that I'll be able to recognize here publicly, so that we don't do it in secrets, because when you do something good, you must be acknowledged in the public, not in privacy, all right? So we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Her Excellency, the Vice President, Lucia Witbooi, for her powerful keynote address and for reaffirming government's commitment in advancing disability inclusion and empowerment across all spheres of the land of the brave. We equally express our sincere appreciation to the Right Honorable Dr. Eliangurare, the Prime Minister, for his unwavering leadership and support in ensuring that disability inclusion remains a key component of national policy and development planning. My brothers and sisters, I'm not going to address you as ladies and gentlemen, because I believe in the unity of family. We also thank Honorable Sem Safishuna Nyoma, Governor of the mighty Commerce Region, for the warm words of welcome. And in the same vein, this one is very close to us. She is our Iron Lady. This one is our mother. We thank Honorable Alexia Manobe Ngube, Member of Parliament and former Deputy Minister responsible for Disability Affairs, for your enduring advocacy and encouragement. I think this one deserves a round of applause. A special and sincere thanks goes out in her absentia. Honorable Doreen Sioka, the former Minister of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare, whose steadfast leadership ensured that the National Disability Council of Namibia had the necessary institutional and policy support to complete both the revised policy and the costed implementation plan. Honorable Sioka's vision and dedicated laid the foundation for the achievements we are celebrating today, and we honor her contribution with deep, profound appreciation. We extend our sincere appreciation to the Office of the Vice President, Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare, the Division of Disability Affairs. I saw Madam Kufuna, and if I'm not mistaken, she's seated on my left as I'm standing here, for their unwavering collaboration and technical support throughout this whole process. It was a cumbersome process. Our gratitude also goes to the Cabinet Secretariat, Office of the Presidency, the legal drafters for their vital roles in the approvals, for their vital roles in the adoption and the gazetting of this policy. Your commitment ensured that this document was finalized with the precision and efficiency. We also commend the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, also known as the MICT, for their dedicated work in live streaming, media coordination, and facilitating regional consultations, enabling inclusive participation and national visibility throughout this process, because we wanted this process not to be done in private. We wanted this process to be done bare, where everybody can literally see this process, and for those that are taking part or take part and parcel of the process would actually see what is actually happening, so that they can actually advance their voices and opinions as well. Your steadfast support, your guidance has been instrumental in ensuring good governance and successful completion of this process. I'll fail in my duties if I don't acknowledge and, of course, profoundly thank the board of the National Disability Council for their strategic leadership during this process as well, and of course during the time that we have been appointed to make sure that we lead this institution and make it a very sound institution. Let's give them a round of applause. In the meantime, while we have the strategy, on the other side, you have the implementers of the strategy, because that strategy is cascaded down into departmental, from the CEO to the different departments, and then you have the different departmental corporate strategy, corporate scorecards that need implementation with efficiency using the limited resources. Here, I would like to fully recognize the management of the National Disability Council and the staff members. Let's give them a big round of applause. Under the leadership of Madam Philanda, of course, the CEO, Madam Jessica, the project leader, and our head of legal, your professionalism, your dedication, your tireless work in steering the policy development process to its successful conclusion is very paramount, and it has literally substantiated the history that we just made today. the staff members and this leadership would go to bed round about 2, 3 in the morning during the gazetting process. There were quite a lot of changes that needed to be effected thereof, so that this document is the document of precision and efficiency. As I draw closer to the conclusion, our gratitude is extended to all development partners, civil society organizations, technical experts, and the performers who helped to make today's launch both meaningful and memorable indeed it will be. As part of the memory in the making, I think I'm tempted to stop here for now. I think I'm going to pause here, because as part of history in the making, there should be tangible memorials, there should be tangible corporate gifts that every time you look at it, you remember this event. Otherwise, there's quite a lot in the streets, in our offices, that would make us forget this event, and we don't want this event to be forgotten. Allow me for now to lean through the CEO to quickly guide this next event, very, very brief event, where we are going to present you with our corporate gifts. Then immediately, I do my final conclusions. Madam CEO, let me ask for your indulgence on this so that you can take the lead. Jessica, please, the right hand of the CEO, guide. What we are giving you in there is a sign of Ubuntu. We are nothing without others, and others are nothing without us. We are who we are because of those that are with us and are surrounding us. I don't know what is in there, but if I'm permitted, I can disclose. But I have to be told as well, so that I disclose correctly. Beautiful things I'm told. Thank you. Thank you. Please just bear with us. I know the master of ceremony, the director of ceremony, has cautioned on the time, but this is part and parcel as composite identities of the history in the making, that we do this, and everybody should get this corporate gift. Also, just a reminder that this event has been streamed and currently being streamed as well. That is on our national broadcaster. So, would really want to thank the organizers and our national broadcaster for that noble gesture in just making sure that Namibia gets to follow suit. They are part and parcel of this launch. And during one of the performances, I saw Mr. Moses dancing on the other side of the table as well, and that already told me that that dance was out of excitement of this event. I've tried to spot a person who is very sad and dancing throughout my entire life, but I have not come across any person that is crying and dancing at the same time. So that dance there was a clear manifestation of happiness. I think we are almost there. Director of Ceremony, just 2 more minutes, then everyone should get. I overheard them giving yours on my right here behind me. I was tempted to check, but I believe that has calmed you down to give us 2 more minutes. Once again, for the Director of Ceremony, you have actually done a very tremendous job this morning, and your program ran as smooth as possible. A demonstration that we can do it on our own. We don't need to hire consultants. We have the talent here. All right, I think we're almost done, eh? Everybody has gotten. Then I can proceed now. Okay, just the last table in front. All right, thank you. I think I can proceed. My brothers and sisters, as those that are receiving, get to receive the last few, please allow me once again to reiterate that as we bring this historical event to a close, let us remember that this launch is not a mere ceremonial milestone. No, it's not an event. It should not be regarded as a mere event, as a mere performance, but it should be regarded as a call for action. Together, we must ensure that the principles and commitment contained in the policy are translated into reality. They are live, they are real, they are not imaginations. Because on a paper itself, it's still an imagination as you are reading it. But after reading it, it requires you to act, to substantiate that, which is currently an imagination that you are going to read. Measurable improvement in the lives of persons with disability across the country is our paramount wish. On behalf of the National Disability Council, I thank every one of you for your presence, your participation, and your unwavering commitment to building an inclusive Namibia. From policy to action, I thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. With that well-crafted vote of thanks, we have come to the end of this milestone event. But before we close, I'm informed, I just want to make 2 announcements. One is that in that box that you got, in that gift, there's a memory stick there, which you must go and read. There's quite very rich information there. Don't delete the information and put music and other things. Please. Yes, the other thing is that I'm informed that lunch was prepared for all of us, but you must collect a lunch, a token at the entrance there. When you, as we are leaving, please collect your token there for lunch. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end, and may we please rise for the singing of the anthems. I'm also informed before we sing the national anthem that there will be a short photo shoot. Photo shoot. Is it a photo session? What is it?
Anyone who given the items to security, we have them box for them to collect the items.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, and also don't forget if you have handed over some items to security when we were undergoing screening there, maybe you have left your valuable item there. Please don't forget them to collect them from security. Thank you very much. May we sing the AU and national anthems. Thank you.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity.